Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lords of the Night. With me, as always, is the Lord of Pain, Ranting Monkey.
Hello.
And the Lord of Pennies, Satsu 2 cents.
What up, Dale?
And I'm your host, Scribe, the Lord of my phone going off again, because that's what it is, Dale.
Ahem.
I was going to get to you in a moment. Jeez, impatient much?
The cops are coming for you for not saying hi.
I know. And with us in the background, the Lord of Penis, Squishy. Hello, Squishy. Thank you, tall person. Angry at de Blasio. He has some bad optics right now. On an unrelated note, happy National German American Day, everybody. Oh, man. Yeah, de Blasio's not looking too great today, at least depending on how, from a certain point of view. But we'll probably get to that later. Hello, chat. Hello, everyone. Hope you're all having a good day. It's been a very busy day in the wonderful world of news. We'll get to that presently, but Squishy, how are you?
She's gone now.
Oh, well, at least I tried. Satsu, how are you?
Wonder great. I would be a little bit better if this thing that I wanted to do didn't quite not work out, but, you know, it's fine. Whatevs. So, not a bad day, but kind of an annoying.
Do you want to expand on that, or are you going to talk about that later?
Well, there was some videos that I wanted to make. I downloaded the footage to start working on it, but the footage's audio is kind of interesting. So it complicates things quite a bit for what I had planned on doing. So I'm just like, should I fucking bother? I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Okay, Monkey, how are you?
I'm here. How you doing, Scribbles?
Well, let's see. I had a relatively quiet work day, and then a relatively quiet after work day. And here I am. Rock me like a hurricane. There's also a moment, though, or not a moment, but a little while where I played like something like 45 minutes into a run of Fallout 4, and then the game crashed and didn't save anything. That was unpleasant. But if that's my biggest complaint of the day, I'm probably doing okay. Also, I spent at least part of my day cleaning up my apartment and stuff because my mother's coming to visit this weekend. So I have to pretend like I'm an actual, full-fledged adult for a little while. I'm sure everybody here knows how that is. So.
That should be difficult.
Yeah, I know. Thank you. This is Kyle. Hello, chat. Hello, Kyle. But with all that, Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games, hit that like button if you guys have not already. And I can see that many of you haven't because you're uncertain, I guess. I don't know. And please share our stuff. Share it far, wide, sideways, diagonally through the fourth dimension and so on. We need you to do so because YouTube won't. So if there's a content creator out there that you like, whether it's us or someone else, let people know that you do. Retweet their stuff, share their stuff on Facebook, Instagram it, Napster, LimeWire, whatever the kids are using these days, But with that, thank you, Adabisi. Mom was forced to push 9 months ago today against my will. I won't be here tomorrow. So can we punish me today with your song? This is your song. It may be quite simple, but now that it's done. I'm
going to need you not do that. That's my song for Little Butt.
Oh, well, fine. Never mind. One moment, Adabisi. Thank you, tall person. Because of your very nice thumbnail, Scribe, you get a bonus holiday greeting. Happy Mad Hatter Day. Oh, Mad Hatter. You know what Mad Hatter's real name was?
Not Mad Hatter.
Well, in the Batman universe, it's Jervis Tetch.
Jervis, huh?
Jervis Tetch. Yes, I remember that much at least. Thank you, Mikal, the Driving Ape Man. Adult, doesn't your mom watch this show? You think she would, but she doesn't. My mommy doesn't watch my show.
Smart lady.
Anyway, Adabisi, you apparently have a birthday.
Adabisi, it's your birthday, and around here we do this. This one is for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
Hey, yo, happy birthday and shit.
Happy birthday to you.
Birthday.
I hope you be enjoying that shit and stuff.
Happy birthday. Yeah, to BC.
Tell your mama I said what up.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Adebisi. And I have a special birthday request that was made of me earlier. So if we can do that either now or after the first story, whichever works for you, Satsu.
Oh, okay, bye.
Because I am
Scribe
king
night,
shit
isn't
of
it?
this stream. God damn it.
Oh, shit.
I will be the arbiter.
Have a nice night, guys. It's all right. I'll just excuse myself. I'm not actually.
Okay, everybody shut up. I need to deliver my verdict. We shall sing the song after the first story.
All right. That works for me.
My word is spoken.
It was a good word, too.
Indeed. It was several words, actually. Back to back. It's pretty impressive.
Indeed. Ghost hunting should be interesting tonight, dude. I can't pay attention to shit.
I am excited. I've been pumped to play this game. Although the audio in the video that we did, it seems like whenever you guys are on the left side of me, I can't really hear you. I don't know why that was, but it is making editing the footage very complicated.
I noticed that because I watched back some of the stream we did the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I am fine when I'm over the walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
But if I'm talking to you right next to you, I am loud as shit. I'm surprised the audience didn't say something. You guys were very kind about that.
Well, they were saying early on how loud you were.
I didn't catch it.
Okay, You know what? Forget it. We're going to actually do the news now because I don't. Yeah, your video game talk and wait for another time.
Haha, that's what you get for leaving.
Apparently so. All right. So since that was effectively a story in and of itself, what birthday do we have, Monkey?
This is for Jace.
Jace.
And this was a special request. So, Jace, this one's for you, bud. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
I was prepared to talk gaming all stream.
Happy birthday to you.
Like the entire 2 hours.
Happy birthday, dear Jace.
Oh, yeah. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Jace, wherever you are, sir.
All right. So we have breaking news.
Oh, shit.
Donald Trump, quote, I have fully authorized the total declassification of any and all documents pertaining to the single greatest political crime in American history, the Russia hoax. Likewise, the Hillary Clinton email scandal. No redactions, unquote.
Yeah, I saw that. That can be interesting.
Yes.
Or a complete and total distraction. Sorry.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, there was a story that came out like 2 days ago that the woman in charge of the CIA won't release stuff. So I'm wondering if this is a direct response to that.
I guess we'll see if it actually happens. But yeah, so that was just posted a few minutes ago. So I'm sure that will be a developing story with many people familiar with the matter. In other news, Eddie Van Halen passed away. From throat cancer at 65. For some reason, I thought he was older than that. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I mean, just him and his band, him and his brother, just like, I don't know, kind of transcended generations with some good music.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what else to say. Granted, I am not an expert in his career or in the band or anything, but you know, several of their songs are sort of like benchmarks of time capsule in my head. So between David Lee Roth and Sammy Hagar and so on. So
I grew up in a mostly country household, and it wasn't until my foster sister moved in that I started listening to rock. And Van Halen was one of her favorites. She got 1984 when it came out. She was there at the store that day. And yeah, we used to listen to that all the time. That and Diver Down, she had that one already. And yeah, I used to listen to those just back to back to back, just play it all the way through.
I'm like, when I think of them, I mainly think of the David Lee Roth era, like Panama, Hit the Ground Running, Dancing the Night Away, those kind of songs.
Hot for Teacher. Come on.
Hot for Teacher. Yeah, Hot for Teacher.
Which, by the way, I watched that video today after I found out he died and went back and listened to some of my youth.
So
that
good.
video was entirely inappropriate.
Oh yeah, no, it's terrible. Then, well, I mean, not terrible. I love it, but my favorite Van Halen video when I was growing up was Pound Cake with Sammy Hagar, because it was all about this girl that was like peeping in on like strippers in their dressing room. It was great, wonderful, high art is what that was. But yeah, no, it's yeah, lost to the music world. I know Tail Feature was very upset, and of course, just one more casualty of 2020. And then, just in the last few minutes, it was announced that Johnny Nash, who's best known for his song "I Can See Clearly Now," as in "I Can See Clearly," that song. Yeah, he just passed away. He was 80 years old though, so not exactly spring chicken or anything, but all the same, it's like fuck. So just one of those days, I guess. But that aside, in other not so great health news, we have two reporters at CNN, Caitlin Collins and Jim Acosta, who are both just pillars of journalistic integrity, letting us know that top White House aide Stephen Miller has tested positive for COVID-19. Did he test positive for COVID-19 or coronavirus? Do you guys make a distinction anymore? Of course not. Why do you bother? Stephen Miller, the top policy advisor to President Donald Trump, has tested positive for coronavirus, he confirmed in a statement Tuesday. Let's see. Yeah. After working from home for several days, Miller showed up to work Tuesday and tested positive, a source familiar with what happened told CNN. He is the latest official caught up in an outbreak at the White House that has seen at least 10 others test positive. He is also the latest member of the president's team who prepped him for last week's presidential debate to test positive. Uh-huh. So is it Trump's fault that he's positive? Is that it? Trump didn't get it from somebody else? Like, I don't know, Hope Hicks or someone who's tested, who was confirmed beforehand? Of that team, former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, former White House counselor Kellyanne Conway, Trump campaign manager Bill Stepien, aide Hope Hicks, and Miller have all tested positive. Former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani and Trump campaign aide Jason Miller are the only other members of the debate prep group that have each tested negative in recent days. Huh, well, that's interesting. And then they just go through a recitation of recent events with the whole infection thing. So there you go. One more. And that's CNN's top super giant headline. Stephen Miller tests positive for COVID-19. So, it must be important.
Yeah.
Let's see.
If I could just interject, more people at the White House are going to test positive. They work very close quarters. What the hell do these people think?
I don't know.
And it's fine to report that they're getting it, but they're hyperventilating over this shit.
Yeah,
relax.
It's silly. I mean, it's actually kind of remarkable that it took this long for something like this to happen there on it,
Yeah.
I mean, that all it takes is one person who's asymptomatic to get through, and you don't know. You could test right after they get it, and they wouldn't test positive necessarily. And they walk through the screening, and there you go. And with all the reporters going in and out, with all the people that work at the White House, and all the people that they come into contact with, and so on, yeah, and it's actually impressive that we've gone almost a better part of a year without this happening there. But now that it has, like, oh my God, the whole world's coming to an end. What's going on? But anyway, programming note in a question to Monkey: are we starting early tomorrow for the debate?
Oh, is that tomorrow? It's up to you guys. Do you want to do it? I'm game.
I'm fine with same thing as before. Now, does it start at the same time? I don't know. Let me check real quick.
That I don't know.
Vice presidential debate schedule. Let's see. Wednesday, October 7th, 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Oh, sorry, Pacific time. Pardon me, Pacific time. So, yeah, so it'll start. So if we start a half an hour early than we usually do, we can do the pregame show and then listen in.
Yeah, works for me.
Okay. I just want to check and make sure that nobody was off base. So, guys, the plan will be that tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, we will, we'll start the show a little early for a 30-minute pregame show to get everybody synced up to whatever stream we're going to be watching it on and get everybody ready to go. And then we will do a live commentary of the vice presidential debate, which, after a fashion, could actually be a presidential debate if you think about it. Just don't think too hard about it. Don't want to cause any panic or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But speaking of which, commission to allow Pence to debate without plexiglass barriers around him. Maybe because he hasn't tested positive. The commission organizing general election debates will allow Mike Pence to participate without plexiglass barriers around him at Wednesday's contest after the vice president's team objected to their planned use, a member of the debate commission tells CNN. But Kamala Harris and the debate moderator will be allowed to erect barriers separating them from the vice president. And why not just put one right down the middle of the stage?
That would be the smart thing to do.
I mean, why bother, like right next to you or something? Just put one, whatever. The plexiglass dividers, which were announced by the commission on Monday night, were the latest in a string of changes made to ensure the virus is not spread at the debate as the White House deals with a growing number of infections inside Donald Trump's administration.
So, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
I seen something very similar to this earlier. Somebody was complaining about the fact that, my dad was in the hospital and blah, blah, blah with COVID and we couldn't yada, yada. And he was like, Trump was in his car and he put those people in there, the Secret Service, at risk or whatever. And I was like, well, he had on a mask and they were separated. The narrative that seems to be going around by the Democrats is social distancing doesn't work.
Yeah, I was about to say is like, okay, why do you care about having a barrier there if 6 feet away is enough to protect you?
Yeah, like they have been almost like blatantly saying like, no, masks and social distancing does not work. Because almost all the times they've complained about Trump doing something, he was either far enough away to comply with social distancing or had on a mask. And they're like, he's putting people at risk. It's like, but he's based on your rules of social distancing and how effective it is and how, was it CNN? I can't remember who specifically said this, but literally 0 people would be dead if it wasn't for, people not wearing masks. Then I don't understand what the complaint is. Biden, by the way, Biden said that.
It's the same old. It's just there's something. Got to have something, and it's asinine. Look, if they want to put up the barriers, I have no problem with it. But put the podiums put them 10 feet apart. I mean, we're going to see them on TV anyway. It's not like we have to stare at the stage and we're going to hurt our necks trying to watch them both. The idea that they need this barrier's asinine. Don't worry, guys. Your personal barriers will be arriving in the mail any day.
Let's see.
Real quick, can I get a Streamlabs while you're doing that?
No.
This is Kyle. Thank you so much. A couple Monkey in the Mornings ago, you asked, what could Robert Byrd have mentored Joe Biden in? And I think I figured it out. He mentored him in the ancient arts of negromancy. I think that's probably true.
I mean, that's probably pretty accurate.
Breaking news, sort of. So this is the governor of Washington State, Jay Inslee.
Yeah.
He tweeted this out, I guess, a couple hours ago, but I'm just seeing it now. Tell me if you can make sense of this. What aircraft carriers were in World War II, masks are today.
What?
I am reading it verbatim, unless someone has hacked his account. This is the blue check marked official Twitter account of the governor of Washington State. What aircraft carriers were in World War II, masks are today.
Well, I get what he's saying. It's
Do you?
asinine. Yes, because aircraft carriers were seen as basically what won the war for us in the Western theater.
Okay.
Over here in Japan, that war, the battle of the aircraft carriers, especially once we finally sank the Japanese aircraft carriers, turned the tide. But that's fucking stupid.
Yeah, that's. It may, in the abstract, I guess it could be an analogy that sort of, yeah, but no.
That's the best I can come up with what he possibly meant there. I'm sorry, I keep running out of breath in the middle of sentences.
It's okay.
That's fucking stupid.
So this story about the plexiglass doesn't, A, it doesn't make any sense. B, it's, you want to put a plexiglass thing around you? Fine, go ahead. I honestly don't care, but at the same time, you guys harping on about this, it really goes against the whole idea that if you guys are standing on opposite sides of the stage with about 20 feet in between you, that there isn't already a barrier of distance, let alone a barrier of plexiglass. Like that's going to do anything.
But they're going to be speaking English, yo.
Oh, that's right, because English is a more slobbery language we learned last night. Yeah.
Spitty language.
Spitty language. Spitty. All right. In other debate news that's also COVID related, if you can believe it, Biden says there shouldn't be a second presidential debate if Trump still has COVID-19.
Why not get plexiglass?
There you go. Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden said Tuesday that the second presidential debate should not be held if President Donald Trump is still infected with coronavirus, but that he would base his participation in the debate upon recommendations from medical experts. Who's medical experts?
Who have already stated the rules and regulations and guidelines for social distancing. Yeah. It's already documented, sir. Y'all have been pushing it and yelling it at people for months. You know what they are.
Quote, well, I think if he still has COVID, we shouldn't have a debate, Biden told reporters in Maryland. Quote, I think we're going to have to follow very strict guidelines. Okay, well, which is it? Guidelines or just not have one? Too many people have been infected, and it's a very serious problem, unquote. Oh, okay. He continued, quote, and so I'll be guided by the guidelines of the Cleveland Clinic and what the docs say is the right thing to do if and when he shows up for the debate, unquote. The former vice president also said he looks forward to the debate, which is set to take place next Thursday in Miami. Ooh, it'll be Satsu's night if it happens.
What?
Well, we each get a debate night, at least one. So, I mean, granted that it goes off as it should, then you get debate night next week.
Yeah. Did you hear my distant excitement?
I did. I assumed you were standing far away from your microphone because it would be very weird for you not to be excited about this to kind of... Never mind. Thank you, Angry and Lucian. Have a Zoom meeting for the debate. Problem solved. Lag, delays, talking over. I don't think Zoom would be that much fun, honestly. Although it would allow the moderator to cut people off real quick and let people say their piece before moving on. Maybe it's not a bad idea. Thank you, Angry. Let's see. In completely unrelated news to any of all that, now the weather. Hurricane Delta is intensifying rapidly and is now a Category 4 storm. If you thought the past week's lull in hurricane, that's Lull, not LOL, just so you know. Lull in hurricane season was a sign of it slowing down. Think again. Hurricane Delta is a, quote, extremely dangerous, unquote, major hurricane on a collision course with Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula and the U.S. Gulf Coast. It will directly impact Cancun and Cozumel as a dangerous Category 4 storm. The storm is the second strongest of the year in the Atlantic Basin at 145 miles per hour. It's just behind Hurricane Laura, which reached 150 miles per hour. After undergoing a, quote, very impressive rapid intensification episode, unquote, earlier, the National Hurricane Center said, quote, some additional strengthening is likely to occur before Delta makes expected landfall on the northeastern coast of the Yucatan Peninsula between 5 a.m. and 8 a.m. local time on Wednesday. Delta went from a tropical depression to a Category 4 hurricane in about 30 hours from Monday to Tuesday. At one point, Delta's winds had increased by 85 miles per hour in 24 hours. That's the largest jump in wind speed in October since Hurricane Wilma in 2005, the last major hurricane to hit Cancun. Thank you, Okie Native. Trump should come out like a WWE star in a spacesuit at the debate with a fog machine spraying disinfectant and ring girls throwing masks.
That would actually be extremely entertaining.
Yeah, the second presidential debate. A McMahon production.
His fucking crusty ass come out.
What would his entrance music be if he was a WWE guy?
Who, Trump's?
Yeah.
WAP.
Why are you always lying?
He's lying. Dude, that'd be hilarious.
Stop fucking lying. Let's see. Yeah, so if you happen to be in Cancun or Cozumel and know people that are, get away from the coast.
Yes.
Quickly.
Quick, fast.
Let's see. Is there anything else going on? Because that's really all I had pulled up, because everything is either Trump.
I'm surprised you didn't get Trump said he's ending the COVID-19 relief negotiations. I thought that was going to be.
Oh, that it's probably some here lost and everything else, but they're all talking about the infection more than anything else.
Oh, we'll talk.
So why don't you pull that up, Satsu? Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Trump says he is ending the COVID-19 relief negotiations until after the election. President Trump announced on Tuesday afternoon that he has rejected the Democrats' latest stimulus proposal, claiming that House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is, quote, not negotiating in good faith, which she hasn't been for months now. Earlier on Tuesday, Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell warned of, quote, tragic economic consequences if additional stimulus was not provided to overcome the impacts of COVID-19. And what people are saying is Donald Trump is a monster because he's holding the stimulus check over people's heads, and unless he becomes the next president. And I'm just like, so he's basically taken the baton from the Dems, who've basically been doing that since the beginning. Because I'm like, they've been doing this since the beginning. They keep putting in relief money for for all the cities that were affected by the riots that they enabled and let happen, because they want repair money to fix the shit that they allowed to happen. And the Republicans are like, no. They took all that shit out and presented it back to them with basically nothing but the stimulus money that would help people. And they're like, no, unless you fix our mess, we're not giving them shit. Like, the Democrats have been doing this for months now, but, Trump made a statement, so now it's officially his thing. And the stock market apparently fucking plummeted immediately when he gave this announcement. So that's what's been going on with that.
Just get money to people, could you guys? Is there any reason? Yeah. I really hate when the politics literally hurt people.
Yeah, neither side can argue that they're not, just fucking around with people's lives, because they're all playing the game, because there still is stuff in the Republican one, like, that they offered back. There are things that are put in there from both sides that neither side want to happen. So it's just like a fucking game of douchebag tennis, and it's annoying.
It's one of those things where I wish like all of Congress and the House were in one room together and Jon Stewart was in the middle yelling at them with cameras on everybody. Then maybe they do something, right? Anyway. Well, guys, with that, we'll move on to the wonderful world of MSS News. So if you have news stories you would like us to read on the air, please send them to us via Twitter using the hashtag MSS News. Can't promise to get to them all, but that's because it's probably mostly Trump.
Derp.
I'm sick of Trump. I'm sick of it. Let's see. This one comes from Shrouded Angel. If I can get the window open here. You can do it. Come on. Gamer finds handwritten note inside second-hand Nintendo DS from previous owner. This better be a really interesting note. Otherwise, this isn't an interesting story opening. A gamer who purchased a Nintendo DS from a seller named Janie was stunned after they found a handwritten note with it, and Reddit users thought it was such a sweet idea. Okay, what did the note say? It says, "Hey there, thanks for buying. I got this DS as a B-Day gift when I was 10. I had no idea who Link or Zelda were when I got it, but I sure did by the end, and it traveled with me for lots of long rides. I'm 23 now and hoping someone else gains the same enjoyment that I did. Happy gaming/collecting or reselling. Times are tough. LOL. Signed, Janie."
Oh, that's cute.
Okay, that's cute. And it's a DS that has got it's like golden with the Triforce symbol on it and everything. So.
Oh, that's a cool one to get too.
Yeah, those are hard to come by.
Thank you, Chris Jones. Did you see the preview of the ABC documentary called Homegrown Hate? I did not. Well, that's easy to answer. What is it about? Like domestic terrorists, or obviously, I assume domestic terrorism, but like militias.
Proud Boys.
Proud. Oh yes, the Proud Boys. With the biggest like nothing burger own ever. It's like members of the LGBT community took over their hashtag and yeah, because the Proud Boys are totes homophobic or something. It's like the most nothing straw man own that they were putting out in the media. That was like, wait a second, maybe I missed something. I don't remember the Proud Boys going out saying homophobic stuff.
The leader of the Proud Boys right now is a half black, half Hispanic dude.
Yeah, I read that and I was kind of like, wait a second, how is that? How is that? People must be so uninformed about the Proud Boys to think that that's like, oh, they got you.
I asked about the gay thing. Like, why is this funny?
Yeah.
What? And they showed the video of that beatdown that happened outside of Gavin McGinnis's event, and they used homophobic slurs when they beat that guy up.
Oh,
I'm like, oh yeah, you caught him there.
Wow,
you caught him.
Okay.
Are we talking about the same Gavin McGinnis who has no connection to the Proud Boys anymore?
Well, the same Gavin McGinnis that made out with Milo Yiannopoulos on camera and on one of his shows rammed something up his ass. Yeah, that guy.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, moving on. Let's talk about speaking of love. Let's talk about a timeless kind of love.
Baby, you and me. No, that's the wrong song. That's groovy kind of love. Yeah,
you're looking for endless love, I think. But anyway, this one comes from Desert Tramp with a love story.
Uh-huh.
A real love story that cannot be found because the link is broken.
Yeah, wait.
Well, Desert Tramp, I'll see if I can find an alternative real quick because hopefully the words alone will. But just a tip, dude. This has happened a few times now. You really need to give us the direct link to these stories and not this second-hand deal because it really doesn't work. It's the same. Oh wait, World News Daily Report. Uh-oh.
World News Daily?
Yeah, this is fake. Okay. Suspect story, Desert Tramp. Apologies. I'm not going to read it now because I'm like, nah, that's not even real. Sorry for the intro, guys. I was hoping for something more exciting, but moving on. This one comes from Shrouded Angel. Oh, we already did one for Shrouded Angel. I apologize. Sorry, Shrouded. Didn't mean to tease you twice there. How about one from Frosted Glass? I know we haven't done that one from Frosted Glass yet tonight.
Yes, because I'm still kind of happy.
If you can believe it, this is a Medium article.
No way.
And it is titled 8 Things I Wish You Would Stop Doing to Black Women.
I've never met a Womixen in my life. So
I haven't either, so I don't even know. I'm completely innocent. But then in the underheading of this, it says, daily as a black woman, spelled correctly, I wake up incredibly grateful for all that comes with being one, and I wake up equally exhausted. You're grateful for what comes with being a black woman. Okay, what are the automatic things you get as a black woman?
There's a really racist joke to be made there.
Yeah, I know.
There's several.
What'd you say?
So there are several, actually.
There are several, yeah.
Okay. Watching Meg Thee Stallions. Isn't it 3 Stallions?
It's Meg the.
Is it the? I thought it was 3. Okay, my bad.
No, it's just got those 2 E's and it's confusing.
All right. Watching Meg Thee Stallions' performance on Saturday Night Live recently and her usage of Malcolm X's words sticks with me daily. Quote, the most disrespected person in America is the black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the black woman. The most neglected person in America is the black woman, unquote. Daily, as a black woman, I wake up incredibly grateful for all that comes with being one, and daily I wake up equally exhausted for all that comes with being one. Sharing 8 things I wish everyone around me would stop doing to myself and fellow black Nixon. Why are you changing it up in between?
Because she's a woman. Everybody else is Nixon.
This is not an exhaustive list. Oh, but you're exhausted anyway. But honestly, these days, I'm too exhausted to share more.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I was just joking. I hadn't even gotten to that sentence yet. Okay. All right. Here we go, guys. You ready? Are you ready to be educated?
Always.
All right. Number 1, stop policing our tone, language, and opinions.
Don't say shit like that.
All right, wait, you mean to tell me that women, whatever your color, do not police other women's language and opinions? Okay.
Well, nobody's supposed to do it to black women.
Oh, okay. Saying things like, quote, well, if you just said it like this, or if it feels like your tone is too aggressive, it will push people away, ... It's tone policing, and it needs to stop. Or it's friendly advice.
People are telling you you're being a bitch. Stop it.
I mean, if you want to take friendly advice and turn it into tone policing and then hate the person for it, okay, you do that. Number 2, stop asking us to do free labor.
We can do that?
We don't need free publicity, access to your email list, or a tagged IG post in exchange for the labor and burden we take on when we do work. When you show up to do work, you expect to get paid, right? It should be the same for us.
For the record, I agree with her, but that is not a black woman thing.
Yeah.
People do that to all kinds of... Huffington Post was famous for it. For a long time, they never paid their writers. You just got exposure.
Right. Yep. And they didn't discriminate.
Yeah.
Look, rule of thumb, just so we can go through, because I feel like this is going to be repeated a lot. If it happens to any black woman anywhere, it is exclusively a black woman's problem.
Fair enough, I guess. But this one pisses me off because that is a good point. Guys, don't work for that. I mean, value your time.
If that one pissed you off, this next one, I think, is where I'm going to stop reading the article. Now, you heard everything I said prior to this, yes?
Mm-hmm.
You heard everything that I recited from our author to this point, yes?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Number 3, stop treating us as a monolith.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. Here's a list of things you are required to do to every black woman you've ever met. Just remember, we're not a monolith.
Oh my God. The lack of self-awareness.
All right, I will read her quote-unquote rationale, and then I'm going to move on to another article.
Uh-huh.
We are not all the same. We do not speak for every other black woman. We do not all have the same story. We do not all have the same ancestors. We are not all the same.
You are literally, at this exact moment as I speak, doing exactly that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Literally speaking for all black women.
Like when Nixon.
Fuck me.
Moving on.
That translation. Stop reading my article now. I am full of shit.
That's the signal I took. This one comes from Peter Stewart.
Good Lord.
One of our friends from the Great White North. Ex-jail employees charged for playing Baby Shark on repeat. Psychological warfare?
That is exactly what it is.
2 former Oklahoma jail employees and their supervisor face misdemeanor cruelty charges after investigators found they forced inmates to stand handcuffed for hours and listen to the children's song Baby Shark on repeat, a prosecutor said Monday. At least 4 inmates were secured to a wall with their hands cuffed behind them while the song played on a loop at a loud volume for hours. The separate incidents occurred in November and December, according to court reports. The misdemeanor charges were filed Monday against former Oklahoma County Jail employees Gregory Cornell Butler Jr. and Christian Charles Miles, both 21, and their supervisor, Christopher Raymond Hendershot, 50. Quote, "It was unfortunate that I could not find a felony statute to fit this fact scenario," unquote. Oklahoma County District Attorney David Prater said, "I would have preferred filing a felony on this behavior." Well, there you go. I mean, it's basically torture. So
yeah, I mean, if you've heard that song and you're not singing it in your head right now, then you have not experienced the true horror.
I have never heard the song.
Baby shark, baby shark,
I still have not heard that song.
Pumpkin loves that song. She had a book that had the little buttons you push to play the song.
Yeah.
She had a baby shark that you squeeze to play the song. And we used to watch the Baby Shark Amazon Prime thing that was there. It was like 3 hours or something of Baby Shark.
Dude.
It would do the original Baby Shark, and then it would do like a Halloween Baby Shark, and then like a Christmas Baby Shark. Oh my God.
Dude, there apparently is like different versions of that song that ain't about baby sharks at all. Like the lyrics are completely different, but it's the same thing.
I want to hear the creepy horror movie version done by Marilyn Manson.
Yeah. Squishy, she was trying to find something for Aaliyah to watch, and she brought up this one thing. She was unaware that it was the same people who made Baby Shark, and they kept singing all these different renditions of it. And I'm just like, this is all bad.
Check Your Logic asked me, didn't you say that that was the worst song when I asked you what you thought the worst song of 2019 was? I don't recall saying that. If I did, well, I was talking about it because I didn't know, but I don't think I would have said that was the worst song of 2019. If I did, like I say, I've heard the lyrics before, like Monkey said. I've heard people talk about the song. I've never heard it, thankfully. So, Saxon Ross, thanks so much. When I see a Wamixon, I grunt and bare my teeth with the other apes and throw a femur bone in the air. Now I shouldn't treat them like a monolith. 2001: A Space Odyssey humor right there. You nerds got it, didn't you? All right, moving on. Thank you, Saxon. This one comes from Wandering Lisa. No hot pants. Sexist rules for women on Arctic expedition.
Oh my God, this story.
So all the men get hot pants, but the women don't. Those bastards. Thank you, Jedi Ghost Bear. Screw you, monk.
Baby shark, baby shark. I actually like that song.
Yeah, he's been mesmerized. Drifting on a ship in the middle of the Arctic Ocean, 4 women listened in quiet disbelief to the rules of a new dress code. No leggings, no crop tops, no hot pants, nothing too tight or too revealing. It was for their own safety, they were told. Most of the crew on board the ship were men. The wan polar sun was falling on October 8th, halfway through a 6-week voyage across the central Arctic Ocean. The ship, a Russian research vessel named Akademik Fedorov, was crunching through sea ice a few hundred miles from the geographic North Pole. Outside the cabin window, a vast expanse of glistening blue and white was streaming past. Thank you, Bacala Driving It Man, reported for terrorism. Thanks a lot, Monkey. Appreciate it. Now the district attorney is going to come down here and charge you with torture.
That'd be fine.
No, actually, you can't do that. He can only give you a misdemeanor. The 4 women in the room were journalists sent to cover the mission. This reporter included. Ooh, who are you? You are Chelsea Harvey. Okay, I have no idea who you are. Until then, they've been focused on writing about scientific projects related to climate change. Now, after 2 weeks in the open sea, there were new concerns. Why the sudden change in rules? Had something happened to one of the women on board? Leading the meeting was a 5th woman, Katarina Weiss-Tudor, a communications manager for AWI, whatever that is. The group was clustered around a coffee table in a spacious cabin belonging to the mission's chief scientist, AWI researcher Thomas Crumpen. Crumpen was not there. He was running late. While they waited, Weiss-Tudor explained the new dress code. These rules were partly a matter of dressing respectfully, she said. An expedition member had recently appeared on the bridge, an area frequented by the captain and other high-ranking crew members, in pajamas. But that seemed like an afterthought to what came next. The rules prohibiting tight clothing were a, quote, safety issue. Some of the men on board would be spending months at sea. The implication seemed clear to the reporters. Women should dress modestly or risk being harassed, or worse, by men on the ship. Well, what would happen if you decided to show yourself off? Then what?
I feel that okay, because we're just getting this secondhand.
Mm-hmm.
All of the rest of it is like, you're in the Arctic, don't dress like you're, in the Caribbean. But then suddenly it's like, oh, and they want us not to be hoary. Like, crop tops. Who in the fucking Arctic needs to be wearing a crop top where anyone would see it?
Let's see. This goes on for a very, very, very long time. This is a long article. This is like a story. So, I don't know. I mean, whatever. I say let them wear whatever they want, and if their bits and pieces freeze off as a result, well, it's like, hey, we tried to tell you. I'll put the link in the chat for those of you that might want to read the rest of it.
Normally I'd be with you, but we're talking about being at sea in the Arctic, and it's not like they can resupply quickly, and they got to take care of some dumb broad because she was wearing a fucking crop top in the Arctic, and then somebody gets hurt and they don't have stuff they need for them. And it really is a safety issue.
And moving on, let's see, we did that one. This one comes from Check Your Logic. Let's see if it wants to come up here. Twitter bans posts wishing for Trump's death. The squad wonders where that policy was for them.
Hey, baby, I love you.
I would love for them to please present any people that were directly wishing for the death of them getting banned on Facebook or Twitter.
The 4 progressive Democratic congresswomen known as the Squad expressed surprise on Friday night when Twitter posted about its policy against wishing harm or death to someone in light of President Trump's COVID-19 diagnosis. Democratic Representatives Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez of New York, Rashida Tlaib of Michigan, Ilhan Omar of Minnesota, and Ayanna Pressley of Massachusetts. Wasn't there a 5th one?
No, there were 4, and occasionally there's a 5th chick in one of the pictures,
okay.
But she's not official Squad, yo.
Oh, okay. Have all spoken about the threats they receive on social media and say Twitter isn't doing enough about it. Okay, threats? What threats versus just criticisms? That's always what I'm wondering. Responding to media reporting Friday about people wishing death to the president, a verified account run by Twitter's spokespeople tweeted, quote, tweets that wish or hope for death, serious bodily harm, or fatal disease against anyone are not allowed and will need to be removed, unquote. Seriously, though, this is messed up. The death threats towards us should have been taken more seriously by Twitter, Representative Rashida Tlaib tweeted in response. You have any examples of this? Yeah. Representatives Ocasio-Cortez, Omar, and Presley also tweeted suggesting Twitter had not taken threats made against them seriously. Well, you're still alive, aren't you? Oh. Members of the Squad have often been victims of brutal social media attacks.
Oh, yeah.
Including posts that have expressed wishes for their deaths.
Mm-hmm. Okay, which ones?
Yeah, which ones? A quick Twitter search of their names followed by hang for treason results in tweets from users calling for the deaths of the congresswoman. Quote, I hope you both hang for treason, one user tweeted in reference to Talib and Omar. At Ilhan MN, you should be tried for treason, and I hope they hang you.
Hey, what's the penalty for treason?
Death.
Oh.
Thank you, Snowbirth. New York Post officially supports Joe. Oh my God, the New York Post.
The Post came out in favor of Joe?
Yeah.
Shocking. I guess not shocked. I mean, they're still a news outlet, so all right.
That's not a good sign. The New York Post. I guess that's wishing for their death. I hope you get hung.
Technically, yeah.
So let's see. Twitter. You just repeated yourself there, CNN. Let's see. Well, were those? I'm assuming then that those weren't removed or those accounts weren't penalized or something.
Well, they said if they could still search and find it, then it's still there.
Right. That's true. Yeah, that's true. Okay. Thank you, Keldrig. So if you seek out death threats, you find them. Shocking. Well, I mean, if the deal is that if someone wishes death on someone on Twitter, and that is something that is verboten, and they're still there now, but Trump's threats are being taken off, then I guess there's a double standard. My only question is, I guess, were these reported, and did Twitter just ignore that?
Yeah, that's the only real relevant question. If there's a double standard, there's a double standard, but were they reported is actually pretty important because algorithms don't work.
Can you see? I'm sorry. Can you see when that was posted?
The news story?
The tweet.
Which tweet?
Did they link to the actual tweet that called for their death?
No, give me the text. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know when that was or anything else, but if you look up treason on Ilhan Omar's deal, or treason and the word hang, you'll find it, presumably, unless they've already taken it off, of course.
What was it? Treason, hang, and Ilhan Omar?
Yeah, so at Ilhan MN, and then so the whole tweet is at Ilhan MN, you should be tried for treason, and I hope they hang you. That's the total of what they said.
Hang.
So, while he's looking that up, we will move on to other things here real quick. Let's see. We got two of the same story from two different people, from Jim Healis and Mashisu. So I will read this one. Let's see. Facebook says it will ban. What?
I'm just laughing because most of these things that I'm saying, like, hang in there.
Yeah. Facebook.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. You were saying.
Facebook said.
Damn it, I missed it.
Fuck me.
Love you, Scribe. Oh, he left again. So touchy. So touchy.
You ain't shit.
It's been a long time since I've done that to him.
Yeah. At least that deliberately.
Are we done now?
Welcome back.
What?
Are we done now?
You had a little error there.
No, fuck it. I'm paranoid now. Fuck it. I'm done. I'm done.
He interrupted himself.
I got to do this one more because I said I would. Facebook says it will ban groups for representing QAnon even if they don't promote violence. I've said it before. I said it on Twitter earlier. I never would have even known QAnon exists if it weren't for the mainstream media.
Yep. Still don't know what it is.
I honestly, I have absolutely no idea what it is, what they believe, or anything else. All I'm told is that they're this evil conspiracy theory organization of evilness. And I compared it earlier today. This is kind of fucketry ahead of time. Do you remember, and this is more a question probably for Monkey, do you remember a thing called Khorasan that was talked about in the media during the Obama administration early on when in relation to Al-Qaeda?
No.
Okay, for several weeks, if not a month, there was this thing that was being talked about, this Khorasan group, and they were supposedly this like evil, super duper, like Al-Qaeda on steroids thing that was all coming for us and everything. And it seemed to come out of nowhere. And anybody that talked about it just sort of mentioned it by name and was like, oh, this big worry and everything. And then in very short order, just kind of stopped being talked about. Because it was like this fake made up thing. There actually was some thing in the ether out there called Coruscant or something, but it had nothing to do with anything. It wasn't some like evil group. It was the most like constructed worry factory that I'd ever seen in media before, and then it just kind of vanished. That's what I think of when I think of this QAnon stuff, because it's like I never heard of it before you guys told me about it. And even though you keep telling me about it, I still don't understand or see how they're a threat to anything or anyone. And I would never have known if you guys hadn't told me. And that just makes me think that it's more your problem that you're constructing than anything that's actually a real problem.
Yeah, and like you said, after the people who are pushing how horrible and terrible and nefarious this group is, after they specifically stop talking about it, you never fucking hear about them again. They just vanish.
Yeah, I'm sure as soon as, sorry, I don't want to make predictions here, but if Biden becomes president, we'll never hear about him again.
Nope. No, they won't even exist.
Chicago Mike, thank you so much. It's Scribe interrupted. Yes. It was. It'll never happen again, though.
Never. I would certainly never do that on purpose.
Facebook said it will ban groups that represent QAnon, the baseless conspiracy theory that paints President Donald Trump as a secret warrior against a supposed child trafficking ring run by celebrities. Supposed?
Jeffrey
Epstein much?
Supposed.
Okay. And deep state government officials. Yeah, there's none of those either, guys.
No, that doesn't exist.
It's all fake, guys, just so you know. QAnon's talking nonsense. If that is what they're talking, is this what they're talking about? Okay.
Who the fuck knows? I don't know.
I mean, so is the mainstream media part of QAnon when they were reporting on Jeffrey Epstein?
Yes.
And Prince Andrew and Alan Dershowitz and Bill Clinton and on and on. Are they part of the QAnon conspiracy?
QAnon got its start with that pizza place. That's the child pedo ring they're talking about specifically. Yeah.
The company said Tuesday that it will remove Facebook pages, groups, and Instagram accounts for, quote, representing QAnon, unquote, even if they don't promote violence.
By the way, it's still perfectly fine to suggest that Donald Trump faked having COVID.
Mm-hmm.
The social network said it will consider a variety of factors to decide if a group meets its criteria for a ban, including its name, the biography or about section of the page, and discussions within the page, group, or Instagram account. So basically your algorithm that's like searching everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mentions of QAnon in a focused group on a different subject won't necessarily lead to a ban, Facebook said, but it also won't necessarily not lead to a ban. Then. Less than 2 months ago, Facebook said it would stop promoting the group and its adherents, although it faltered with spotty enforcement. It said it would only remove QAnon groups that if they promote violence. That is no longer the case. Okay, well, they'll change their name to something else, and ta-da!
It's P-anon.
Yeah, they just change the name to something, go by a different code name or whatever. You know, pick something that's completely innocuous. You know, something that nobody could argue with, like Black Lives Matter.
Dude.
Wouldn't that be funny?
You
know, because as a decentralized movement, they couldn't exactly sue them for copyright, could they?
But like, look, how could we be bad? Like white hoods, the whole nine. Like our name is Black Lives Matter.
Yeah. Our new name is Puppies Are Cute.
That's right. How could you disagree with something so factual?
And speaking of cute, thank you, Manic, for the dog cat fox. Hiya. Hi, dog cat fox.
Called the Anti-Anon.
Anti-Anon. There you go.
Yeah. Like, how could we be the bad guys? We got Anti in our name.
That's right. All right, guys. Thank you so much for all the stories. Sorry I didn't get to them all, but Monkey interrupted me.
How dare you blame that on me?
Intentionally.
Only a couple of times.
Yeah, okay. But on to the wonderful world of YouTube time. I'll go first because I don't have much. I worked on the theme for today's show. I had a lot of fun putting together the thumbnail. Now, my proudest part of that thumbnail, for those of you that saw it, so I was trying to think of who am I going to put into the Two-Face spot on the poster. And because of the angle and everything, I thought, oh, Sinatra would make a good one. But I thought, wait, it wouldn't be the same if I didn't make him some kind of Two-Face thing, if I can swing it. And then I remembered he had a Joker version of his avatar at one point. And I was like, I can do something with that. But I didn't have it myself, so I had to contact him, ask him for a copy of it, and he had a copy. So I took that, and I had to shrink it down to get exactly the same size as the other one. Then I overlapped them in Photoshop, and then I erased the regular Sinatra one right down the general middle of where the face would be to get the clown thing to show up. And then, just to make it total, I inverted the colors on that part of the hat that'd be covering that side of the face. And so you have this quasi-Joker Two-Face thing.
Good job.
Thank you. Your appreciation, that's all I need.
Good, because that's all.
Anyway, aside from that, I am thinking tomorrow of trying something different for a live stream commentary. In the course of looking for videos or things to critique and such, I occasionally come across very short videos, like little promos or little like one thought kind of deals by some of the speakers I've looked at in the past and other places that are only like maybe 2 to 5 minutes long. They're not exactly presentations as they are, promotional deals. And so I was thinking of taking like 3 or 4 of those and just proceeding through them one after the other in a stream, just as an experiment. So I'm thinking about trying that out tomorrow. Depends on timing because I have a meeting or a phone conference meeting tomorrow as usual on Wednesdays. So, and I'm not quite sure how that's going to go time-wise. So it'll all depend on that, but that is the next thing I'm thinking about doing. So if not tomorrow, then maybe Thursday. And other than that, yeah, that's about all I've got. So Satsu, what have you been up to?
Well, I finally finished my 3 video commission series thingamajigger. That was fun. It was uploading those videos, and what's really crazy is the commission was to do 3 dishes from anime. And throughout this entire process of trying to finish this commission, I ended up making like 6 because I was trying a whole bunch of different stuff, and obviously some stuff didn't make the cut, some stuff did. But I got to experience a whole bunch of new stuff, so that was a pretty good time. If anybody else wants to make any suggestions for things for me to cook, especially if you want to commission them, my DMs are always open. I've jotted down a whole bunch of stuff that people have either sent to me or stuff that they've suggested already. I have quite a few videos that I'm working on at the moment or will be working on soon, and a fucking massive list of stuff that people have suggested already. So keep them coming. You guys are giving me content, and my wife has really been enjoying it because she's getting to try all types of new shit she's never had before, and it's a good time. Otherwise, we've been playing this game called Phasmophobia, which we'll be playing tonight after Lords. It's a pretty creepy 4-player co-op experience, and one of my goals was to take that video and edit it up and chop it up and see if I can make like a little mini series for people who couldn't actually see the stream, because the stream's 4 hours. If you want to go see that, you got to watch 4 hours of a stream to catch it all, and I know that can be a slog for some people. So I was like, yeah, I'll chop it up and kind of do the highlights, all the best moments, and the audio's real iffy. So I don't know. I'll have to look at it again and really see if I can salvage enough for it to really matter. But it is what it is. We'll be playing tonight. Hopefully I can pinpoint what that audio issue is. Maybe Monkey, we should probably just stick to using the radios, except for when we're talking to the ghosts.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just to, so we'll have some consistency across the board. Because it was a real issue. There was one point where Stunlock was literally right next to me, and he was using the thing. And unless I was looking directly at him, his audio was basically non-existent. It just felt like he was whispering in my ear. Which, knowing Stunlock, he would probably do. But yeah, so we'll try to find a way around that. Either way, the game's fun, so come and check us out when we play it tonight. And that's pretty much it for my YouTube stuff.
All right, Monkey, what have you been up to?
Well, after I left the show last night, I went and crawled into bed and woke up at about 1 o'clock with a beautiful woman snoring in my ear. And it's not her fault. I mean, she wasn't. It was just it was a cute little snore because she ain't got no manly snore. But it was enough in my condition to be like, yeah, I can't sleep no more.
Oh.
So I came out here and screwed around on Twitter for about 30 minutes or so and like, all right, I'm going to go lay back down. And I laid in there for a little while and my body was like, no, we're done. I was like, oh, all right. And so I came back out here. I'm like, well, I'm going to be up. Might as well try to do a monkey in the morning, which actually turned out pretty well. I feel like I was just dragging through the whole thing until Irate Alex, my dear bear, showed up in chat and asked if he could have the link. I'm like, oh, hell yeah. And it was just like old times.
Yay.
I miss Bear. I don't get to talk to him as much.
How's he doing?
He's stiff upper lip, old chap.
Yeah.
He's doing okay. I mean, lots of things that you don't like to hear. Like he gave up his car because he can't drive.
Yeah.
He's waiting for tests to find out if he'll ever be able to work again. Yeah. So horrible shit, but we had a good conversation, a lot of fun. Not too much of the old man, are we dying yet kind of conversation, but then I was like, okay, I ain't done a game stream in a while. Let's do that. Fired up the game stream. The internet went out on me after about 8 minutes. I was like, fuck. Reset my router, and then it was fine. So did an actual game stream. And by the end of it, once again, I was just like, guys, I don't have the breath to talk. So what I'm getting at, guys, don't go watch any of it. Just go find the part where it was just Bear, me, and Jack, because that's the only part worth watching. The rest of it was me just trying to struggle through. And then, of course, I'll be over with Satsu. This Ghost game, guys, you gotta come watch. It is fun as shit. We had a great audience for that game too.
Oh yeah, man. People were really into it. I had people commenting who I didn't see in the stream. Like later, like days later now, people are still commenting like, yeah, dude, this was fucking awesome. I'm just like,
that game is amazing.
Welcome. Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun game.
Alrighty. That it, Monkey?
That's it, sir.
All right, we'll go on to the wonderful world of circuitry time. I don't know if I have a whole lot that we haven't already talked about. Let's see. And there was an odd one of those, hot girl takes picture of herself and then puts an odd comment on her tweet. And it's like, she's just, I don't know, she very fit girl. I don't know what else she does otherwise, but she says, "Would you run me over for $1 million?" And I said, with what though? I mean, a cavalcade of tiny kittens or an industrial riding mower? Is the $1 million just on the other side of you and you're in the way? I have far, far too many questions. Obs. So, yeah, that was fun. Another day of excitement in the world of CNN front page news. Did I keep this? I can't remember now if I kept this. I didn't. Did I? No, it was another one of those where it's like CNN's front page was nothing but opinion analysis on the front heading.
Oh, no.
It's just like, oh God. So I just said another day of heavy lifting. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 opinion/analysis pieces covering their front section this morning. Real great stuff. Then this from Chris Saliza. Got a question about tomorrow's VP debate? Let's hear it. And I said, why would I ask you?
Right?
Man, like of all the people.
It's not moderating it.
No, it's got what do you know? It hasn't happened yet. You've got nothing to say about it. Like, what question could I have that you could possibly answer? Let's see what else. Oh, Dungeons and Dragons officially removes negative racial ability score modifiers from the rules.
That's right.
So, for example, for those of you that aren't like D&D or role-playing geeks, in many games, not just Dungeons and Dragons, if there are several different races or character types in a game, playing as a particular type of character can give you pluses or minuses to certain ability traits. For example, in most games, if you are playing a normal human being, all of your traits are relatively even. There's not much that differentiates one human from another, per se. But in the case of, say, let's say elves, for example. Elves are technically more fragile creatures, so maybe their constitution is lower, but they have a supernatural allure to them, so their charisma is higher. So they are weaker than a human, but far more charismatic. Conversely, if you're playing an orc, maybe your strength is inherently greater because you're from a race of people that have, more muscle mass. But then because of your appearance and your mannerisms or something, you're less personable or fearful or something. So then your charisma score is actually lower. That kind of thing. So playing a different race in these games sometimes gives you advantages or disadvantages just based on the reality of the setting. Well, now Dungeons & Dragons has removed all of the negative ones because I called it the Harrison Bergeron edition of Dungeons & Dragons. And if you guys don't know what Harrison Bergeron is, that's just a me and nerd making reference to a Kurt Vonnegut story where there's a world where everybody was given mechanical devices to make everybody literally equal. So they'd have things put on their heads to prevent them from being smarter than anybody else. And they'd have a bunch of weights put on them to be stronger than anybody else, or things to enhance their strength so they'd be stronger than they are, and so on. So a world where everything's equal and nobody's different. Anyway, thank you, Kuramon Najir. Cue the Goblin Barbarians and Orc Artificers. Shake my head. Yeah. Thank you, Mikhail Drive Man. This is because of Bright. Terrible movie. Bright was a terrible movie. It had the potential to be something much more than it was, and it was awful. It made no sense. I'll just very quickly. You have a world where apparently orcs and elves and fairies and all these magical creatures have existed amongst humans for thousands of years. And yet, in this movie, taking place in the modern day, the very first orc police officer ever is just happening now. After thousands of years. This is a new thing. Also, the thing stole most of its ideas from Alien Nation, if you ever saw that movie and TV show. Alpha Omega, thank you so much. One for you, Scribe. Like you on Lords and like the TED vids. Thank you, Alpha. Appreciate it. And also thank you, Cryptic. I prefer the race Elvis personally.
Alpha Omega, thank you. Look up the music video, Donnie Iris Ali. Was that what they brought up before? And play it for your little one. See if she dance. If it's a song and it has music, she will dance. Like it. There's no condition.
Paul Farrell, 5th edition already got rid of that. 5th edition got rid of it? But there were... Wait, ability score? But, I mean, the ability scores were still different depending on the race, weren't they?
But the negative addition, or the negatives. So an orc can still be stronger, but he's not going to be uglier.
But isn't that a negative for the human?
No, because the human doesn't get a negative modifier against the orc. The orc is the human is your base set, basically. And we do have a birthday.
Maybe I'm misunderstanding what they're talking about in here. But either way, go ahead, Monkey.
Well, before I get to Ginger, it's like this. So if you get the negative one because you're an orc and you're ugly, that one's gone. But if you get the stronger because you're an orc, that's still good. Positive racial stereotypes are okay. That's what we're getting at. And Ginger Power, it's your birthday. This one is for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday
to you.
The power of Ginger.
Happy birthday
to you.
I put it in everything.
Happy birthday,
Ginger Power.
Actually, I don't, because Squishy's allergic.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Ginger Power. I hope you had a good one. And I remembered you're a dude, so I didn't call you sweetie this time.
You know, I can't cook because Squishy's allergic to ginger. Well, not can't cook, but I have to like. A lot of Asian dishes use ginger. Almost fucking tons of them do. Like ginger is like fucking what for like rosemary for white people, and they love it.
You see, going back to the Dungeons and Dragons thing, it's like, okay, well, I guess I understand what you're saying now, but then there will always be a perfect min-max character to play.
Yep.
So there's no balancing act to it. It's like that was the whole thing. It's like you can't just play an orc and run through the game with a complete free pass for everything. But now you can effectively.
Yep.
So why would anybody want to play anything that doesn't give you, especially in like Dungeons and Dragons, where if you're a melee character, why bother ever playing a human again? If you're a magic character, why bother ever playing anything other than an elf again or something? Because there's not going to be any reason not to.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess if it kind of works kind of how Skyrim and Final Fantasy 14 does it, because all of their base character models or whatever race and stuff you pick, they do have traits that lean more towards one thing or another, but at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. Like,
yeah, no, it doesn't. I mean, unless you're trying to do some kind of like speed run kind of a build or something, or do something very specific. I mean, the racial gifts you get in Skyrim, like orcs can start out. Was it orcs that start out with? No, it's high elves. I think start out with the Fury magical spell already, or whatever.
Yeah, being able to break out the water with the,
Yeah, if you're playing one of the lizard guys, yeah, so things like that, the racial benefits and all that. But in D&D, it was always, if you're gonna play a melee character, you're gonna take a deficit on, or if you're gonna play an orc, you're gonna take a deficit on charisma or something, because that's just how it works, and that's just how that. And so there was some deliberation you had to go through with when you're trying to think about what kind of character do I want to play. What are the benefits, the cost-benefit analysis of this? And of course, D&D is a lot about number crunching as much as anything else. So yeah, removing that just kind of makes it much more bland. Yeah.
Over on Streamlabs, Alpha Mega, thank you so much, who says, waiting for the birth of your child on the game stream. I'm waiting for my chick to even end up pregnant.
No, a monkey. So did you do the dialogue option where you say, I'm ready for a kid?
Yes, I did.
She's pregnant. That's how it works. I figured that out the other day. Yeah,
If
you literally
pregnant,
walk up to her and say, hey, I'm ready for a baby. And she's like, me too. Your sperm instantly transmits into her vagina. And
you would think that, but no. Because it's supposed to take 3 seasons for her to have a baby. And I think I'm in like season 5. And she's still working, which they're not supposed to do when they're pregnant. I don't know what this... She just rejected my sperm, and I can't give it to her again.
Okay, well, onward. Thank you, Paul Farrell. The stats are done a bit differently than before as well. Yeah. And now, admittedly, I am not a D&D history nutbag. I've only played a few times in my life. I've done way more World of Darkness stuff than I have D&D. All the same, the homogenization of lore and setting, both in Dungeons and Dragons and the stuff that I've seen in Vampire the Masquerade for its 5th edition, it's just... grow up. It's the world of darkness, not the world of soft, fuzzy things, for God's sake. Same thing with D&D. It's like this, Conan the Barbarian sort of setting, vicious times of high adventure and evil and sorcery and massive monsters and things. It's like putting the little bumpers in the bowling alley. There's no danger anymore. Don't have to worry about, failing or nothing. Anyway, that's all my fucketry, as it were. Satsu, what do you got?
Let's see. Man, I completely forgot it was fucketry time.
I know, I blabbed on.
Let me see. Well, I can't really judge you for that. I am not in the position to make any judgment calls there.
At least he's honest.
That's true.
Well, let's see here. So let's.
Did you chop down that cherry tree?
Maybe.
Oh. See, no.
So, in the first order of fucketry here, Netflix has been indicted on child porn charges. Cuties.
What? By who?
By apparently a Texas grand jury.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. What? I mean, what are the possible outcomes? Is it like a federal case or something, or like who is there an individual at risk here? Or is it just like a civil suit kind of deal? What is it?
The indictment accuses Netflix and its top executives of, quote, promotion of lewd visual material depicting a child, which is exactly what this is. State Rep Michael Schaefer, Tyler Republican. Tyler Republican? Is that his name? Posted a copy of the first page of the Tyler County grand jury's. Oh, Tyler Republican. Okay. Tyler is the place. Got it.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, Tyler, Texas. Yeah.
Yeah. Jury finding on his Twitter page. Okay. Netflix Inc. indicted by grand jury in Tyler, Texas for promoting material. Okay. This is the actual indictment. Like they showed the paper itself. That's it. That's all we got here. Not a lot of information came out about it. It was just saying that it happened, and it did. So I'm sure we'll get an update.
Real quick, thank you, Karaman Majir, indicted by grand jury in Tyler County, Texas, by the state. Okay.
Right.
All right. I thought, isn't there a town called? I'm sure there's at least one town in Texas called Tyler. I have relatives in Texas. It sounds familiar. Anyway, go ahead.
So we saw that. The Trump pausing coronavirus relief thing. We did bring that up. The statement or the comment that I left about that is, now magically all of the people mad about him making major decisions while voting is happening will 100% change their tunes and pretend like they never made that argument.
Mm-hmm.
But in my opinion, this is still, I don't know if this is smart for Trump to do. It doesn't sound like the best idea in my opinion. It seems like to me, trying to be quote unquote the bigger person here would benefit him, especially considering it'll help everybody, you know.
Yeah, but this is Trump.
Right. And there, like I said, there are some people in our chat and some people I've seen on the internet in general who are just like, you know, the stimulus shit is fucking us. Like, it's not helping. It's actually fucking us over. And that's an argument to be had. But a lot of people want it regardless, you know? So it seems like this might work against him if the already recent events haven't worked against him enough. I feel like he ain't doing himself much favors, but we'll have to see.
Well, at this point, I don't understand why he wouldn't just unless there was something in the Democrat offering that is just absolutely ridiculous.
Well,
at this point, why wouldn't just at least grit his teeth and get something out there and then claim it as his?
Well, mainly it's because of the bailouts and stuff that they have set up for the Democratic states and shit who allow their the places to be destroyed. Like, he had a massive stance against that. This started happening, all the riots and stuff, and they're just like, yeah, now you have to sign this and basically authorize the repairing of the places that we let get destroyed in order to destroy you. And he like, fuck no.
There are ways you could spin that, though. He could stand up and say, you know, the money to the people that need it is more important. Unfortunately, in order to get this done, the Democrats required that money go to these people who don't deserve it. So those of you that live in those states who are now going to enjoy the benefits of this, just remember, this is a result of blackmail of all the people that needed the funds in order to get. He could spin this to turn them into the villains and him into the reluctant hero on the thing. But anyway,
I mean, he could also claim too that they basically came crawling to him begging for some type of assistance after they did this to you.
That's true. Yeah. After telling us to leave, after saying they didn't want federal help, we had to give it to them in order to get their stuff. Like I say, either your way or my way, he could spin this and still come out looking good, at least to his base and maybe some people on the fence. But the fact that he's not and nobody's doing anything doesn't help anyone. It really is stupid.
Well, here's the thing. I think if he did either one of those, it might make the people happy in his favor, but I don't think the Republicans would be.
But they're not going to vote for Biden, so what does he care?
I guess.
Yeah.
Could keep them from voting for him. I'm with them on this. I wouldn't authorize any of that shit either. I realize people need the help. If I was him, I would be out there banging this drum daily instead. Like, look, I want just a clean bill to help you guys. I saw Ilhan Omar today whining. She's like, all the devastation that's gone on to the people. And Trump is just like, ignore it. And she named off all of these things that are economic and then people dying. Like, okay, you can't do anything about people dying, but you are a congresswoman. You are in the House.
Yeah.
Send a clean bill that takes care of all of those other things and doesn't give a giant payday to the states. If I was him, that's what every day in front of the cameras, because he's been in front of the cameras a lot. Every day I would be preaching that.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
And he could just straight out say, look, I will sign it the day they put something on my table that helps the people and prioritizes that.
Yep.
And all this other stuff, I will sign it that day. The only reason I'm not is because they won't let me. He could spin that. He could definitely do that. But, it is what it is. That's the situation. I don't know what the fuck else to say about it, but let me see.
Real quick. Thank you, Cryptic. Let them pay for all their own crap. All the burnt down cities are run by Democrats. Those cities keep voting them in. There's that too. I don't know. I don't know if my politics and my pragmatism are kind of running into each other. It's like people need this help now. Not yesterday, not a week from now. Now. Well, they needed it yesterday too, but so I don't know. The political calculus of it to me seems secondary to just getting something done. But that's just me.
Yeah, and lastly, over on Twitter, there was this video of these fucking morons laying in the street in protest, and the car driving past threw like a smoke bomb in the middle of their group, so they all got up and scattered like roaches. But some of them stayed behind and started kicking this dude's car and trying to break his windows or whatever. So he came out with a gun, and then the rest of them dispersed. And I simply stated, stay the fuck out of the street. You fucking morons. And they were all looking like they were offended that this person just wronged them somehow. It's like, y'all are fucking laying in the middle of the street. People got places to go and shit to do. The smoke bomb didn't hurt you. It was just smoke. It made you get the fuck up. So you're going to kick and attack his vehicle and expect him not to do anything? Yeah. But, that's these people. I'm sure with a full-time job, you have plenty of time to lay in the middle of the fucking street in the middle of the day. But that's all my fucking truth.
All right, Monkey, what do you got? Oh, sorry, real quick. Thank you, Expo Hotep. I wish I had Satsu's internet. 2 hours and 30 minutes left on Baldur's Gate 3 download. I watched a little bit of gameplay on that today because somebody said you can already download it for early access. It looks really good. I've never played either of the old Baldur's Gate games, so I don't know, but looks really good to start off with.
Bubba, I can't even start it until after Monkey in the morning because I got to use the satellite overnight to do it. So no game stream tonight, guys.
No.
But if I get my good internet, if it pops as that 100 megs that I can get sometimes overnight, it'll take about 2 hours. So I'm hoping because I'm jonesing to play that fucking game.
Yeah, I peeked it over on the stand. I'm like, oh yeah, Monkey's probably ready.
1 and 2 were great, and I can't wait. I'm just excited to play it. I'm not happy that it's 5th edition rules.
Oh,
go ahead.
Sorry, Mash. Was this Mash? Yeah. Oh no, Stargate. I'm sorry. I looked at that way too fast. Stargates are just. It says this is Donald Trump tweeted this. If I am sent a standalone bill for stimulus checks, $1,200, they will go out to our great people immediately. I'm ready to sign right now.
Whoa, Satsu, he's listening to you. Holy shit!
When was this posted?
11 minutes ago.
Oh damn!
Yeah, dude, you just
holy fucking shit!
You just mind linked with the president. He's listening to the show.
Tell him,
Trump's listening to us.
Send me a clean bill. It's money to the people. I will get it. That's what he needs to be preaching. He should have been doing this all along.
Mr. President, the next time you're on camera, tug on your left ear to let us know you were listening.
Somebody clip that shit. So that's straight. Oh my God.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Damn.
Your move, Dims. It's their move now. Like the fucking ball is completely in their
they want to pay attention to his tweet. It's cool that he did that, but this is going to be it's all going to be him and COVID. They're not even going to mention this. I'm sorry. I wish it was otherwise, but trust me, unless something else really happens, unless he goes out on a next press conference, says the same thing every day or something, not going to stick.
Mm-hmm. That's why I said he needs to be preaching it every day.
Yes.
To the point where they can't ignore it.
Sure.
All right. Where are we at here? Do I want to talk about her? No. Fuck that bitch. I just like this. Somebody tweeted this out today and I saw it. It says, "You want to be safe. I want to be free. We are not the same." And I'm like, yeah. Freedom's not safe, you guys, but I think it's the better way to go because you will never be safe enough.
Mm-hmm.
I promise you that. You will never be safe enough. Corey sent me that they got their Ranting Monkey hoodie today. The Munko lantern. That looks so cool. I want one so bad, but I could never wear it. I hate my life. What's this? The Jews were celebrating what the hell is it called again?
I don't know.
Sukkot. I don't speak Hebrew, sorry. But they were celebrating it in New York City, and de Blasio had the police round him up like he does.
Mm-hmm.
I just mentioned de Blasio rounding up Jews. Who didn't see that coming? He's been very anti-Jewish the last few months. You might want to be careful with that, de Blasio. People are starting to take notice. The press is trying to push Russiagate again really hard, and I don't know why.
They got nothing else to do, I guess.
Peter Strzok on the Russian intel towards the Hillary campaign, knowing that what she might have been involved there. There's nothing nefarious there. Trump allies are trying to claim that Clinton spun all this up. This is clearly false. Her campaign did not. And I just want to remind everybody one more time. Hillary Clinton's campaign hired a company that used a British spy who got together with Russians to make up shit about Donald Trump. And all of that led to your Russia investigation. Nothing nefarious? Are you kidding? That Clinton tried to spin it? That is exactly what happened, you dick. But it's Peter Strzok, so we know about him. There's a breaking story out of the New York Times today with a quote, "We need to take away the children," in regards to what's going on with immigration at the border. And supposedly Jeff Sessions got together with 4 attorneys general of border states and told them that. Like, look, we have to enforce the law is basically what he said. We have to prosecute these people. When we prosecute them, we separate them from their kids. Like we do with Americans. If you get arrested, your kids don't come to jail with you.
They don't?
No.
What?
We separate you from your kids. But for some reason, that is really, really hard for the immigration folks to process. Got a super chat.
Yep. Thank you, Cryptic. Trump just ordered all the Russia stuff in Clinton email server to be declassified in full, including Obama and Biden being briefed about it. Yep, we talked about that at the start of the show, and like several other people have said, I'll believe it when I see it. But yeah, he's just on a rampage now between saying he's going to let all that stuff out and saying, put the legislation in front of me and I'll sign it for the checks to go out and so on. He's making a run. So he'll if he makes it to the next debate, he'll have plenty to talk about, hopefully.
Joe Biden said this, and I actually saw it because of your response, Satsu. I don't believe we have to choose between law and order and racial justice in America. Which I agree with. We don't have to choose. But what we do need is Democrats to get on board with the notion that we don't have to choose, and the media to get on board that we don't have to choose. That we actually have people, we've read stories on this show with people like, we have to destroy stuff because nothing else is working.
Also, we're not actually destroying stuff. It's all white supremacists. They have to destroy stuff because nothing is working, because white supremacists fight for black people's rights. I don't know. I'm confused.
I'm not sure how it works.
I'm confuzzled.
There was another one from Joe Biden where he played a clip of himself, and he tweeted it out with this. Think about what it takes for a black person to love America. That is a deep love for this country that, for far too long, we have never recognized.
What?
I have never once questioned a black person's patriotism based on the color of their skin. That might be from some of the things they said, but I do that to white people too. I've never went and go, man, I bet that black person doesn't love America. The notion here, he did this with the thing he did yesterday. My fucketry yesterday would have included this thing from Biden where people took him grossly out of context. Mm-hmm. They clipped 10 seconds of a speech that he gave, and it made it sound like he personally got to stay home because black women were stocking grocery shelves. And what he was actually saying is that the people in America have started to notice that people of color, black, and he also mentions Hispanic, they're contributing to America. I'm like, dude, we know that. Mm-hmm. Why don't you? Why is this a fucking new thing for you? Why are either of these things a new thing for you? That is a you problem. And somebody else shot back with, what was it? Black people are, how they put it? Let me find the exact quote here. It's this one. He's asking people to reflect on how much one must love their country, a country that has shown mostly hate to anyone who looks like them. And there might have been a time that was true. It's not today. It's not today. We live in a time where quite literally, people pretend to be black to get ahead in life.
Not only that, we just watched the almost entire country break out in protests at the very notion of something bad happening to them.
Right.
The world, actually, not even the country. There were people in other countries protesting at the notion that something. Think about it. Try to explain this narrative from somebody outside looking in. You're an alien who just got to this planet, and you've been here for the past 7 months, let's just say. And they're just like, yeah, these people right here, this group of people, they are the most oppressed and hated people on the planet. Everybody hates them. They get no respect. They're treated like trash. And they just witnessed an entire fucking global protest to combat the fact that one of them got killed by a police officer. Yep. It's like, you're full of fucking shit. Hey, that is absolutely ridiculous.
And it's amazing that people have gotten mad at me for my comments on this. Because I pointed out not just that, but from everyday life, just, treating black people like normal people. And us celebrating black stars, whether it's sports, movies, TV, music. I also saw this guy today complain because somebody, and I don't know who, I never saw it, somebody said about Eddie Van Halen, rest in power. He's like, how dare you take our thing?
Oh, Jesus.
Yes. We hate blacks so much, we just steal everything from you guys. I'm tired of this argument. I really am. Again, we have to say this every time. That doesn't mean racism doesn't exist. Of course it does. But it is not the majority. And it's not even a huge amount. It's a couple of dumbass rednecks online who sometimes try to be edgy to get a little bit of attention for themselves. For the most part, it's a handful of stupid people. We had that fucking guy from, was it North Carolina? Look at this Klan rally that had like 10 people in it. If that was the 50s, man, there would be hundreds.
Yeah, like, I'm sorry, but I'm too distracted by the hundreds of thousands of people globally protesting over here for black people.
Right.
Sorry, I didn't lose my shit about the 10 fucking whites over in fucking under the barrel, who fucking knows where, doing their little protest. Like, my bad. My attention wasn't on that. It's insane. It is insane. Just perception wise, just like I said, somebody looking from the outside in, like, y'all have exclusively black TV channels, exclusively black groups, exclusively black schools, exclusively black sports teams, exclusively black, like all this stuff.
Yeah.
Y'all are the most, like, it's baffling to even consider.
Well, I was told to talk to a black person about it to see how they felt. Shut the fuck up, dude. Here, come into the 21st century with us. Seriously. Walk across that threshold of 20th to 21st. You'll be surprised what's actually going on. That's all I got.
All right. Well, we're starting a little late, guys, but hey, them's the breaks. If you got questions, comments, concerns, complaints, conspiracy theories, put them in the chat now. If you have questions for us directly, please put plenty of chat marks after those. If you have statements for us to consider, please put plenty of statement marks after those. Remember, tomorrow night we'll be starting a little earlier for the debate. The vice presidential debate at 5:30 Pacific time, 8:30 Eastern time, to have a pregame show and get ourselves synchronized up so that we can do a commentary track for you as you watch along in the debate. Thank you, James Colley. Most AZHO don't realize sometimes a tree is just a tree. AZHO. I don't know what that means. But,
Doesn't ring a bell.
yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Close that. Mata Winter. Oh, Lords. Would you all try a pepper roasted turkey breast Sammy, a small bag of barbecued corn chips, and a 44-ounce jug of blue lemonade, like pink lemonade, but blue? None of that sounds terrible.
I'd try it.
That's as best as I can do for you. What about you, Satsu?
Sure.
Oh, AZHO is asho.
Oh, okay. Well, can I be blamed for not knowing if it didn't mean something else these days?
You asshole.
Asshole. Frosted Glass. If they take away racial penalties in D&D, doesn't that mean that one race will inevitably become the master race? I guess depending on your class, whatever class you're taking. If you're a barbarian, always take an orc. There's no reason not to, and so on and so on. Expo Hotep, Monk, do you know what kind of character you are going to make in Baldur's Gate 3?
When I start a new D&D campaign, I usually go pretty generic. I like starting with the originals. I'll probably either an elf or a human, and as for my class, probably a ranger or a warrior to start with. I'd love to play a wizard, but any first time playing through a D&D campaign as a wizard,
yeah.
Ooh, once you get up there, wizards are badass. They can kill anything.
Mm-hmm.
But like when you're a level 2, nah, fuck that.
Yeah, it's a steep climb. You better have some good companions or something. Chicago Mike, what is the worst song ever, and why is it The Night Chicago Died?
Worst song ever, Safety Dance.
The worst song ever. Well, obviously it must be Baby Shark.
I hate that song.
Satsu, you got a worst song ever?
Not really.
Yeah, okay. Dangerous Spaces, Lawton, thoughts on any media outlet endorsing a candidate? That seems to go against the unbiased, objective idea they keep bullshitting about. You know, the editorial board of a publication has been nominating or endorsing candidates and things forever. I don't know. I don't think it actually. I think endorsements from a newspaper are about as useful as endorsements from celebrities and so on. But yeah, it does indicate something that is a little less than objective when a newspaper decides to take a stance on a political issue like that. Unless it's something like, obvious, like the politics of torture or something, something like that. But anyway, I don't know. What do you guys think?
I don't have a problem with it because you can still do that and do your job correctly. Go out there and be independent and be like, you know what? we looked at it. This is who we like. But I feel like you have to have objective reporting to be able to do that in the first place.
Yeah. You have to earn the credibility to be able to get away with it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, same deal. I was pretty much going to say the same thing. The concept of it in general, I don't have a problem with as long as you talk about them and treat them objectively. Your bias isn't showing when you report about them or whatever. And if they do something bad, you call them out. If they do something good, well, not call them out, but you report on it properly and accurately, and vice versa. But yeah, right.
Let's see. And Keeverdam, did you guys see Pincalo saying that Blind's merch store is now open? I didn't, but now I have. Do you have a link? Put Blind's merch store in the link in the chat, and I will. I'll try to put it in the description. Frosted Glass, thanks, Scribe, for basing tonight's theme on my childhood favorite superhero movie. Well, I didn't know that was the case, but you're welcome. Yeah, I was looking through things, trying to think what's a good one. And I remember when they did the Justice League one a couple months ago, Monkey was upset that I didn't make him Batman.
Yeah, I'm always Batman.
Right. And so I thought I'd try to rectify that, and I think I did. I did the best I could anyway. Because Monkey's avatar is kind of tough to fit into a mask where it's in profile. I did the best I could.
Well, good job with the rectum fire.
Yeah.
Good job with your rectum.
Yeah, thanks so much about that. I made you Robin, Satsu.
Yeah, you should be pissed at that.
Well, he had a cool costume in the movie.
Robin's all right.
Yeah, that Robin, but it's our Batman movie. It's not their Batman movie. Let's see. Check your logic. Did you see the video of what if the U.S. president dies before the election? No, but I've seen multiple things posted about that and informative articles and so on. So,
yeah, I saw it and I didn't really have a problem with it. I mean, Trump came down with COVID. That's a legitimate thing to think about.
Sure.
Yeah, it's not a.
I mean, everybody running around with like their hair on fire in the media is something different, but it's not an unreasonable thing to ponder, or at least inform yourself about if something crazy, because stranger things have happened. So
it was absolutely possible with Trump's age and all that good
sure
stuff.
Cannibalistic Wizard, have any of y'all ever thought how weird suckers and lollipops are? I mean, all you're doing is flavoring your spit and liking it.
I mean,
why do you have to ruin good things, Cannibalistic Wizard?
Oh God, yeah, that actually kind of.
Well, you eat it all at once, don't you? You don't come back to it later that day.
1, 2, 3, 3.
Yeah, but I mean, I never even thought, because like, I don't know, like I actually knew a person, like whenever saliva collected in their mouth, they would always spit it out. They're like, I've never swallowed it. It's just weird. And I'm just like, that's such a weird involuntary thing that I do as a human that I didn't even fucking think about. Like you just made me think about the fact that I do that. But when you put it that way, it is kind of weird, I guess.
Rand American, can I play a half orc, half elf, half dwarf, half halfling? I saw the race selection screen when I watched the gameplay, and I can play human, elf, half elf, dwarf, and tiefling, and I think there's a couple of. I don't know if you can play an orc.
You can play drow. I don't remember if orcs. Now you can play a half drow.
Right.
There's different sub races to each of them. There's 2 different drows. I think there's 2 or 3 different elves.
Yeah.
There's lots of stuff you can play in there, but no, you can't play a half. That would be quarters, you jackass.
Let's see. Kamari Turnbolt. Hi, Scribelight. Hi, Kamari.
What up, Doe?
James Colley, is this D&D thing going to lead us to a master debate?
Yeah.
I don't know. Can you alter the breast size of your character in Baldur's Gate 3?
I honestly don't know.
Then maybe.
I know you can alter all kinds of facial features and stuff. They went to some extreme lengths with this. All of the facial features are based on actual people.
Mm-hmm.
Several different people in some cases, and yeah, it's awesome. No orc, which is weird, says Stun.
Maybe that's a DLC.
Well, this isn't the release of the game. This is early access.
Yeah.
Tack Alpaca, pecan pie, whooping pie, or shepherd's pie?
Give me that shepherd's.
I don't know what's a whooping pie.
I don't know what the hell that is.
I don't know what that is.
When I hear the word whooping, the young Satsu inside of me is like, nah.
No.
I don't want none of that.
Been there, man. I'm good.
Alpha Omega. Oh, Lords, are you contractually obligated to read a would you eat question from Mata every stream? It's become at least tradition of a kind now, yes.
It's kind of a part of the thing. I mean, we don't have to now, but it's always interesting to see what the fuck he'll come up with. And it's usually unique every time. Like, it's actually kind of impressive.
We also, as long as it's not a horrible question that we're like, yeah, fuck it, I'm not eating that, or reading that. We try to read whatever question comes up. So
yeah.
N Hill, has Trump shown the world that all news stations are extremely partisan? No, Trump didn't do that. I mean, the Bush era did that. Obama era did that, certainly. Trump is just sort of, I think it's just been turned up to 11 because he's so brazen, he's so unapologetic, and probably mostly because he attacked the media. He actually confronts the media directly and spews a lot of hate at them personally, or they take it personally. I think that is the one major difference in the kind of partisan stuff we're seeing these days between, say, Obama and Trump. The right hated Obama. They hated Clinton. They went all nuts on right-wing radio and Fox News and everything. And you could see shades of the kind of insanity in the Trump era, not the Trump or the Obama era with like Glenn Beck. But he was sort of like a singular figure in that kind of insanity. Now it's just commonplace everywhere for Trump because he's so controversial, especially against the media.
I would say the media showed it, not Trump.
Well, he threw a lot of fuel on the fire, certainly.
They didn't have to respond that way.
No, they didn't have to. No, it shows their lack of professionalism. It shows the drift from news reporting to gossip rag, gawker type stuff a lot more clearly than it would. I think it sped up the process if Trump had been a more measured individual. But it takes two to tango, certainly. But I think the reason you're seeing it as rapidly as it is because Trump has been so anti-press so often.
You could say Trump brought it out in them.
That's what I mean. Yeah, no, like I said, it's not. It's like his attitude was the catalyst for making it as nuts as it's been. That doesn't forgive anybody for doing it. That just means that he was the cause of it to a certain extent, but the media decided to meet him on his own turf, and now we have what we have.
Yeah, he was the reason they took the masks off, basically.
But then, were they social distancing?
Hey.
Let's see. Kieverdam, breaking, 72-year-old street vendor in New York City died fighting with a thief. That sucks. Hope they catch that. Black Roman, is Monkey going to stream his playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3? Not tonight, but at some point. I assume so.
I'm definitely hoping to. Yeah.
I'd be very surprised if he didn't.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, you get that game, he's going to stream it. Tack Alpaca, you are trick-or-treating and one of the houses you go to gives you a bag of your favorite fun-size bars. What are they? Curvy redheads.
You call women fun-size bars?
Hey, they're fun. They're fun size for me.
Are they midgets?
No.
No, that's fun size for me.
I have a really big bag.
Oh, the Barney bag?
The what?
To answer your question, honestly, it depends for me. My favorite fun size bar is actually a Milky Way, even though it's not my favorite candy bar.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the ratio to chocolate and the rest of the stuff in it. It changes on those fun sizes.
Take 5, baby.
You just like to take 5.
Take 5s are delicious.
Milky Way Dark and fun size Snickers.
I wish I had a Take 5 right now.
Well, There's. I'm sure there's a store nearby.
Not near enough for me to go to.
Okay. Chicago Mike Scribe, have you done a Friends theme yet? No. I guess I could. Do I want to?
Gross. Somebody said mounds.
Let's see. Karamon Major Satsu, which Robin would you choose to be? I don't know. How familiar are you with the various Robins?
Not super familiar. I like what is it, Nightwing?
Dick Grayson.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you got Dick Grayson, Jason Todd. You've got you go to the Frank Herbert. No, not Frank Herbert. Frank Miller deal. You got that girl. What's her name? And then of course you have Damian Wayne, Batman's son, who becomes Robin.
I want the least angsty one.
Oh shit. At this point that would probably be Dick Grayson still. Because Jason Todd turned into the Red Hood, and that's angsty as all hell. Damian Wayne is nothing but angst. So yeah.
Yeah. I figured out that one stood out to me for a reason.
Don't matter. Batman's going to touch you inappropriately either way.
No. Dangerous Spaces. What do you think of that monster Trump spreading a disease to everyone in the White House, despite also not having said disease?
I think it's an interesting thing that he's been able to accomplish with all that.
Let's see. That's not up, and then chat jump because of course it does. Let me scroll up again. Sorry guys if I missed it. Something you said. Mono Winter. Oh Lords, has Scribe done a MLP as a stream theme yet? No, and I won't. I was never a My Little Pony. I've done G.I. Joe. I haven't done Transformers yet, but then I don't know if we look good on robot bodies. I could try it.
I look good on everything, man.
Ooh, maybe I should do Thundercats. That's a good one. Or Tiger Sharks. Remember Tiger Sharks?
Do Thundercat Go just to piss everyone off?
No, I know. I'm not going to do that. I find an original or something.
Good Lord.
I did He-Man Masters of the Universe. I made Monkey He-Man at that time. I made myself a Man at Arms. Trying to think of I can do the Snorks. You want to be a Snork monkey?
Yeah, it'd be an easy one to do too.
Possibly. Obviously, it all depends on if I can find a decent sized photo or picture that I can make reasonably into a thumbnail. Actually, I think I've already picked out the next one I'm going to do. I'm not going to tell you what it is. It's another movie. One of my favorite movies from growing up. So we'll see.
Are the Snorks knockoff Smurfs, or is it the other Smurfs?
Yeah, Snorks came after Smurfs. Smurfs were a comic strip from I want to say Finland or something, years and years and years before they became an animated show.
Weren't they Austrian?
Was it Austrian? It was. I'm probably fucking. It was Belgium.
Weird German shit.
Yeah, they were weird. They're weird little things, and they got but Snorks are just underwater Smurfs, basically. I mean, as far as character design, I mean the setting's different, obviously, but yeah. Let's see. Data Wasteland. Scribe Lights. So Satsu, you swallow. Satsu, you swallow. Wait, you talking to me or talking to? I don't understand. We're talking about the lollipop thing again.
Which one is it, baby? Spits or swallows?
I guess so. Let's see. Devil Fruit Zero. Scribe Light. If you were in a situation where you had an imposter amongst the three of you on the moon base, which one would it be?
Who'd be the imposter?
Who'd be the imposter? Well, if you're talking about, okay, well, what is the mechanism that's causing us to think there's an imposter? Is it a shape-shifting alien like John Carpenter's The Thing, or is it somebody with a hologram suit? I mean, what are the circumstances? How would I know or suspect there was an imposter? That would tell a lot about what would be. But even then, it's who would it be? Well, how many people we have on the moon base? Well, according to Grisella, there's at least 4 of us, because Lady Monkey and me and Satsu, because Lady Monkey brought us breakfast. And I'll just say Dog, Cat, Fox. So there's 5 of us. Probably Dog, Cat, Fox. Probably the easiest, the most unsuspecting. I guess that's look cute.
Yeah, it'll be like Scrappy in the Scooby-Doo movie.
Dom O'Leary. L. Lawton. Anti-fling? Anti-fling? Are they the poor kids that those Antifa foreskin crusts bring to riots? No. A tiefling is a race of creature in the D&D universe. Not an anti-fling. A tiefling. You're being a silly head. Let's see. Check your logic. Scarlett, I didn't say anything was wrong with the video. I just thought it answered questions you asked on the show. What video?
I do not know what that is.
I've already forgotten what video. Oh, the what if the president died thing? Oh.
Damn it, I'm sitting here answering you and I'm muted again. God damn it.
That's your problem.
I know. But yeah, that's what they were talking about, the what would happen.
Okay.
Because we did talk about that on the show.
Yeah. Okay, so I got Blind Press's merch store link from Keeverdam. I'm also putting it into the chat now if you guys check it out. Go check out Blind Press's merch store.
Before the record, I brought up that I didn't have a problem with that because there were a lot of people who were like mad about that video.
It's just laying out the facts, like, you know, if it happened.
I think they saw it as like praying for it to happen, which is not how
I guess it depends on who the messenger is at that point. I mean, and also how it's presented. But yeah, I mean, I really get that sensation from a lot of the things I'm seeing, a lot of the articles, like, you know, what could happen if President Trump dies? And like I said before, it's hard to distinguish between speculation and salivation with some of these things. So, yeah, I can understand it, but again, it would depend on the context. Massive Dynamics. Lords Night, did you know that the New York Times has endorsed Biden? Well, the New York Post did, apparently, and now the New York Times. Okay.
Color me shocked.
Yeah, a New York newspaper endorsing the Democrat. Well, let's see. Now, if like the, I don't know what's a completely right, like the if the Washington Examiner endorsed Biden, then maybe that'd say something. But
do you think there'll be complaints like people like if a right wing news, endorses Trump, like they'll be like. This right-wing media shows their bias by endorsing the enemy or some shit.
Could be, and they'll probably call for a boycott. But either way, guys, that brings us to the top of the hour and just over it, actually, and thus the end of the show. Let's see. Now, you guys are gaming after this, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so guys, go over to 2 cents plus after this to watch Monkey and Satsu run around in phasmophobia, running away from ghosts or chasing after them, depending on the circumstances. Remember, guys, tomorrow night's special time for starting of the show on Monkey's channel at 5:30 Pacific time, 8:30 Eastern time. We're going to do a little pregame show before the vice presidential debate begins at 6 Pacific, 9 Eastern, so we can get everybody on the same page with what stream we're going to be listening to, so you can get your commentary synced with us. So be here for that. Make sure I'll remind Monkey because he might forget the early start tomorrow.
I will forget, but I just want to say I don't like how biased you are about giving the times out. You always say Pacific first instead of Eastern.
Yeah.
Well,
what's that about?
I mean, how do people read books in America?
Well, we go left to right, but how do we give time zones, east to west?
No.
How dare you, sir?
Not me.
How dare you?
Yeah, and we're trying to figure out why not you.
Oh, well, because left coast is the best coast.
Wow. Spoken like a true scribe.
That's some zonish shit right there.
Yes, zonish. That's zonism.
Right.
Straight up zonism.
All right, guys. Well, you learned something new here at the end, I guess. I'm a time zonist.
That's right.
Damn it.
Anyway, everyone, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Hope you are all well. Thank you, moderators, for keeping an eye on things, even though we have the best, most well-behaved audience in the world. Everyone who donated, thank you so much for your generosity. It'll all go towards many terrible things I'll put in my body, like Jack Daniels and Dr. Pepper, which I'll probably need tomorrow night listening to the vice presidential people's debate with one another. And thank you, Chicago Mike, for the Dogcat Fox. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Dogcat Fox. Satsu, Monkey, thank you for joining me as always.
Indeed.
Yeah. Whatever.
Except for interrupting me, which I detest.
Always a pleasure.
Everyone, Your lives make us sad, and we will see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.
And taking out my copy of Screw the Roses, Send Me the Thorns, the romance and sexual sorcery of sadomasochism.
Sadomasochism.
And today's secret word is 20.
As in the number.
As in the number 20. And what is it a reference to in the book? You'll just have to use your imagination.